The Challenge. USA Season 2 winners Chris Underwood and Desi Williams reveal their plans for the prize money and whether or not they will return to defend their titles. Outwit. Outplay. Outlast. Outchallenge. The Challenge. USA's second season came to a grueling finish on October 19th with Survivor. Edge of Extinction winner Chris Underwood and Survivor alum Desi Williams being crowned the winners after beating the Challenge's seven-time champion Johnny Bananas, Ride of Die's Victor Tori Deal, and several other veterans. Following Danny McCray and Sarah Lacinta's win in Season 1, Chris and Desi's victories means the CBS spinoff series, which brings together stars from Survivor, Big Brother, The Amazing Race, and The Challenge, has been dominated by Jeff Probst's former castaways, giving a whole new meaning to the term Soul Survivor. Still, both Chris and Desi felt like underdogs heading into the Challenge. USA, thanks to some fans labeling Chris the worst winner in Survivor history, while Desi felt unworthy of even being asked to do the spin-off after admitting she sucked at Survivor when she competed in 2017. In an exclusive interview with E! News, the Challenge's new champs reflected on their surprising path to victory and revealed whether or not we'll ever see them on another season after each taking home $250,000. Why do you think they are so dominant on the Challenge? USA? Chris Underwood. Survivor players are just cut from a different cloth. There is a certain amount of grit and resilience you have to even say yes to being willing to put yourself out there and starve yourself and sleep in the sand. You have to be physically tough, and Big Brother leans very heavily on the social game and not as much on the physical. On the Challenge, you have to be more well-rounded because if you can't back it up in elimination, you get sent home. Survivor performs so much better in the eliminations, and that allowed us to keep our numbers strong until the very end. We get the physical aspect, and then we also get the social aspect. Johnny Bananas spoke to us about feeling as though the Challenge veterans were the underdogs heading into the season, and that a lot of the Survivor and Big Brother players had no interest in playing with them. Desi Williams, it was very clear at the beginning that I was like, let's just get the vets out. Let's just make this game an even playing field. It's very clear that if you play this game 22 times, you've got an advantage. He could strategize and think of ways to compete in challenges that no one else can. Wes Bergman is the same way, just because we haven't played this game. Their ability to find a workaround is just something that you won't gain without experience. So I was an impenetrable wall, but there were too many people playing the middle early on for that to stick. Chris, you've spoken a lot about feeling like an underdog, despite winning Survivor after returning from the edge of extinction. Why did you feel like you had to prove yourself? Chris, my whole life has been a series of me being in a position where I'm not the fastest, strongest, smartest, but I have to find a way to get through and earn my position. Even after Survivor, I had this nagging feeling of the couch critics saying I was the most undeserving winner of Survivor ever, and I had a lot to prove coming out here, that I could go toe-to-toe with the best of them and beat them. It is a driving force in my life that I'll probably never be able to get rid of. I'm always operating like I have a chip on my shoulder. I run a sales organization, and a lot of it is going door-to-door, and 2 weeks after winning Survivor, I was back to knocking on doors and no one knew who I was after winning. It's just part of my mentality to never take anything for granted and give it everything you got even if you're at the top. Desi, you also opened up about wanting to prove yourself after your early exit on Survivor and then having your partner, Enzo Palumbo, quit on you during the final last year. What was your mentality heading into this season? Desi, obviously, I am not a great Survivor player. I did not perform well, so I was shocked when I was asked to do the challenge and went in with very little confidence that I could perform well. So when I made it to the final, I had worked all season to build up my confidence, and then it was snatched away from me. I was in a position where I built up myself to this point, but had nothing to show for it. I can't even prove I actually was deserving. Just making the final the second time around just proved to me that the first time wasn't a fluke, and I'm not as bad at the challenge as I am at Survivor. What did it feel like when TJ Lavin told you that you had won? Desi, I went into this season knowing that I needed to be mentally tougher than I was in Season 1. My biggest mantra in my head was, if I'm not dead, I get to keep going, and so that's exactly